Hey everyone, thanks for being here. My name's Michelle Frantic. I am the CEO of Michelle's Precious Printables.com and mfrantictheauthor.com. This is me, not a great picture, but it's me. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about how to customize PLR templates in Canva. And I'm going to show you my three most recent products that I've created and how we can, make changes to those so that they fit what you want. The first one we're going to work on today is my relationship knowledge cards for couples. And I just made it really simple. There are some rules here, information. There are cards with the little design and the questions on it. And then there are blank cards. So the first thing that you might want to do is, with PLR, with my PLR license, you can go ahead and you can sell these pretty much as is. You do need to put like your logo and things like that. And you can't sell the Canva template. You can't sell templates you make from what you change this into. If you make changes to it, you can't sell templates for that. But you can go ahead and sell them as like a flattened PDF. Um, if you like what I have here, you can go ahead and do something similar. You can make a few changes to just like the questions, or you can change this however you want to do it. But if you want to really customize it to your niche, to your brand, to your particular customers, you can make a lot of changes. So the first one is I have this set up for relationship knowledge cards for couples. You don't have to do it for couples. You can change it to cards for friends, for family members. Um, it doesn't have to be like someone in a romantic relationship. You can even make something for like coworkers. If you work with, groups where people work together and they're having some issues, or they just want to do a team building exercise, you can use these cards to do that. So you could change the title of it. You can make it look different. I just put in some little designs. I try to make these as simple as possible so that, for one, if someone uses it just as is, it's very low ink. My printer that's like 20 years old finally died. I bought a new one and I was shocked at how much ink it goes through, colored ink, and how expensive it is. So I've been doing more things with black ink because it's cheaper and you can usually buy that separately. Whereas usually with the color, you have to buy a pack of all of them. And on my new printer, if I'm low on one, it won't print anything. So then I have to buy a brand new pack. And even though I have the other ones that are fuller, it doesn't matter. It's still going to make me replace all of them. So I'm starting off with things pretty basic. Um, and I also do it because I'm selling these as PLR so people can change them. And that way, there's not a lot that you have to change. You don't have to change all the colors. You don't have to change everything. You can kind of look at it. And if you want to change, let's say you want to change the font, we can go ahead and change the font. Let's just say we're going to go with Canvas Sans. You want something a little different. You can change all of them. Everything that was the biscuit, you can change everything. Bim, bam, boom, all done. The whole thing, everything that was biscuit has now been changed. If you want to change it back, you change it back. We're going to change it all. Okay, super simple. Now, what I might do is I might change this. I might take that out and I might put in a brand logo. So I can do that. We can do this here. This is my Printables brand. And we can move this down, put this in here. And if you did your logo, you know, you could just leave it at that if you wanted to. If you wanted to make more changes, like I said, you could change the name of it. Well, let's just do this relationship knowledge cards for friends. And we can take out our little guy here. And we can go ahead over here to elements. And we can look for friends. Okay, so we could do a picture or we could do, actually, how would that look? We could maybe do something like that. Yeah, that won't work as well because I'd have to fix that. I don't know. I think I don't like that after all. Let's change that. Let's see what we have here under graphics. Could do friends. Okay, I like this one. So we could do this here, something like that. Move this down. All right. So we could do something like that. That changes it entirely, changes the whole vibe, but that looks pretty cool. So you could do something like that. Again, we could change the colors. So let's say your brand colors, I don't really have my brand colors on here right now, but let's just say your brand color is like maybe this blue or something. You could do something like that, change the font colors. Actually, let me go back. So if we do that and we change this, it's going to ask us if we want to change them all. So I don't know that you really want everything to be changed, but you could. So I'm just going to show you that you can do that. I'm going to undo that because I don't really want that. I don't like this blue either. I'm going to change it to, let's see, we'll change it to red. Oops. Okay, change it to red. And I don't like that either, but that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and leave that. So you can change the front, you can change the image, you can change the words, you can change what this says here, you can add your logo. Totally changes the whole vibe of the product. Now I put in a page that kind of explains what you get. You get 20 knowledge card fronts, you get 4 knowledge card backs, and you get blank knowledge card fronts so that you can put in your own questions. It says how to do it, what you're doing here, and then these are the fronts. Okay. So if you didn't like this, I made this here. The it says originally I love you, and I changed it. I made this here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ungroup all of this, and I'm going to show you. I took this here. So this says, I love you, I heart you. You could just, if you wanted to keep that, you could just change that to a red. If you wanted it to be like that, you could also, like what I did is I just got this little badge looking thing. I put it here and then I put in that because they're knowledge cards. So I put in, I know you. You could change the color of this if you wanted to. So this is the circle. We're filling it in with a color. We can fill it in with a different color, fill it in with something a little bit lighter. We can do the outside here and do that in like the darker red, make it look kind of like that. We could change the color of the font. So we could make it, I mean, that's totally different than this. It looks different. Let's just say since we're doing friends, we're going to do, um, actually, let's go back. Let's do that again. But I am going to take out, I don't really like it like that. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to do it like this with the red. Um, you can change the outside here. Excuse me. You can change my voice is being kind of wonky, which is why I didn't record this yesterday. So I'm hoping today it won't be quite so bad. But as you see here, this is the outline of this shape. And I liked it with the dashed lines, but you can change it. You can make it solid. You can make it with a little or dashed lines. You can make it with the little squares there. You can make it thicker. Okay, let's put it back to this. You can make it thicker. You can make the lines thinner. So lots of ways that you can change it up. You can take out these little hearts here and you could do something else like with the friends. You could do maybe something like that. Make something like that. And I think if I did that, I would change this all to black. We could just leave that like that. We could move, oops, go back. We're going to go to, so I just moved the outside square to the back so that I could access this. I'm going to go ahead and change this. I'm going to do this in red. just for fun. And then I'm going to move it up so it's more towards the middle. Actually, a little bit more. Let me make this a little bigger. Okay. And I'm going to hold Shift and click on all of these. I'm going to group them together so I can move this up. Oops, I did it all together. Let's go back here. Group. Okay, this, this. Group those, not the outside. Then I can move it up. See? Goodness gracious. Okay. We're going to move this. Oh, it didn't do that. Okay, let's do that again. And group it. Oh no. And that group. Now is it going to let me move it all? Yep, there we go. So I'll move that. I'm going to click that. I'm going to click. This is behind again. All right, we're going to move that up. Move that up a bit so it's a little bit more even. And if you do that, I wanted to show you. So if you just click on one of the things and click on the position here, it's going to move it to the middle of the paper of the page. But if you click on it with the Shift key again, click on all three of these, and then you do center here, it's going to center them with each other. You can also do it vertically where they're pretty good. So it didn't change anything, but we can group it now, and then we can just kind of center it in that rectangle. So that looks better. That looks good for friends. You could do something like that. You could change you could just take this out if you wanted to. You could do whatever you'd like. One other thing you can do that I was thinking of the other day, I'm going to ungroup these. I'm going to take this out, is take this out too. Okay. You could do something where you don't have to have like the little designs on there. I liked it for the couples thing. But you could do something different. You could do snacks. And let's just do this one here. So we could put this here and there, and we're going to send that to the back. Okay, and then we're going to take this and I'm going to make this a little smaller. Okay, and then I'm also going to go to Elements and I'm going to do I want to do a shape. Why is it not giving me shapes? I want a square. I could just do a rectangle here. Okay. And it did say there's an easier way to do that. I like to move around instead of just using my keyboard and stuff. So I do it a little bit weird maybe. So what I'm going to do here though is I put in a square. I'm going to make it fit this like so. Okay. I'm going to change it to white. And then I'm going to change the transparency. Okay, and then I'm probably going to change this to black and do an effect. So I'm going to click on effects. I'm going to do a shadow. And let's see what happens if we do red. About so I don't really like that either. That's okay. So you can see I would make this a little different. I'm not sure what I would do exactly here. I would want it to stand out more, but something like that. You could do something where you make it just sort of cute like that. We could change this out. Do that. I didn't want to change that. I want to change this. We're going to position that square since it's highlighted. That's what's happening. We're going to put that to the back. Now we're going to grab this guy here. We're going to delete that guy. And we're going to go to a different one. We're going to go back to Elements. We're going to find a different snack. Okay, so I kind of like this one here. So we could move this up. We could do something like this. And you can change the size um, a lot of different ways. I like to just do it this way. It's easier for me. You can change it however you'd like, but you could do something like that. We could put here, we could do something like a text here. We could say, do you know? Instead of I know you, we could say, do you know? And move that up. Okay, and then we can take this and we can make it, it's kind of spaced out, so I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit closer here. Okay, what's my favorite snack? I'm going to take that effect off. Okay, so you could do something like that and then make it look cute. So lots of different things you can do here. I'm going to change this right now to solid. Okay, so as you can see, this is very different than this, has a whole different vibe. So if you're dealing with, let's say, siblings, you could do something that's more colorful and fun. If you're dealing with couples, you can make it, even you could make it more romantic, make it cuter. If you're dealing with friends, you could put in something that is, friend, something that, fits for friends. Um, I also have in the sets, I have the blank cards. And this is actually, I have this for the back and for the blanks. So if you wanted to put your logo or something, I'm going to ungroup all this here. I'm going to take this out. And let's say you're selling these um, for for your coaching uh, clients or something like that, and you want your logo. So we could put in a logo here on the back of the card. So you'd print, so these ones, excuse me, you would make the front, print them out, and then you would print out the back, and you could do it like with your logo. You could put in like your logo, and then you could put something like, your website. Do your website. And maybe like if you have a saying or something, you could put that here, or you could put like what these are. So you could say knowledge cards, let's say for siblings, let's just say that. And we'll bring that down and something like that. So you could make just a really cute little thing, right, like that. And then that you could print that out as the back of the card. They'll have your information and all of this, and then on the other side will be this. Okay, so that's for the knowledge cards. I also have relationship honesty cards for couples. So this one is a little bit trickier. It's like name one thing you love about me, name one thing that annoys you. What was your first impression? You could do something like that. You could change the wording on it so that it fits differently for your clientele. Again, this can also be used for friends. It can be used for family members, things like that. You would want to change probably these things here. But one of the things you could do is if you wanted to put, like I said, I leave it pretty plain so it's easy for you to change things. You could change actually, let me do this first. I want to do a photo on this one. So let's see if there's anything under honesty. We're going to do a photo. Okay. So I don't think we want to go quite that far. Let's see. Some of this I think would be a little bit strange, or would be, I don't know. I think people would not really. like it too much if they have that. So let's see, what if we just do something? I mean, I like this, but I don't know that that would be good either. Let's just do something like this. Let's just do this. Um, I put the picture here. We're going to set it as a background. So if you like that, you could do that. You could do that with any of these pictures. What if we, let's leave that. Let's make a duplicate so that we can go back and look at that one. Let's try this one here. What is this one? Okay, and set image as background. We can change these so that they're a different color. So they show up. Oh, that was that part. Okay, and this one here. Let's do that. Oops, there we go. And this. I forgot that I put this together as well. So there's one more little set of hearts. There we go, and there we go. So could do something like that, or we could just pick this out. Okay. So, I mean, you could do something like that. That totally changes the vibe. This too, like this is a little calmer, I think, and I would definitely change the font. So we could do something, let's see what would look good with that background. Mm, Could do something like that. We could do something different. We could do, I don't think that would really work. Could just do something like this, very straightforward. So lots of different things we could do here. Um, Also, again, I use the same kind of thing here, except this one, on this one here, on the knowledge cards, I did I know you. On this one, for the honesty cards, I left it at I love you because if you're asking someone these things, you're going to want to remind them that you love them and that you're doing it because you care. So you could totally change all of these. If you went with like this one here, then you could make, you know, have these go with kind of with the colors that are in that image. So if you do that, you can go down to photo colors and you can look at that. Is that there? Okay, so these colors here, so you could do something where it's that color. You could do the font in one of those colors as well. Go down to this image and we could do something like that. And then do this also in one of those colors or in a different color. So you can change all of it. You can change the font here. We're going to change that one again. We're going to go to Alice here and we can change all of them if we want to. If you don't like that, if you do that, you might have to change some of these around a little bit because the spacing might change. But so you can make it match whatever you decide to do, like for the cover and for the inside. Um, Lots of different things you can do here. And then in both sets, I do have blank cards and I have the card backs so that you can go ahead and change them to whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm going to move on from those because I think that's fairly clear. Now, I did make these. The reason that I do like PLR and that I went back to selling it is that I was finding some PLR items that were super cute. I really liked them, but I really like creating my own stuff. So I would see something kind of cute and I would say, okay, I can make something like that. And then I'd go down the rabbit hole and 4, 5, 6 hours later, I still wouldn't have something I liked. I'd go back to the thing that I saw and I'm like, dang, I should have just bought that. And then I can customize it to fit what I want. Um, when I was thinking about Valentine's Day and kids, I saw something similar to this shape and stuff, and I just thought it was cute. So I created my own. This time I did create my own. And the reason that I'm telling you about it is because, even if you're like me and you like to create your own, sometimes it's nice to have a jump start. Um, and also, you don't have to use these for Valentine's. So I created these. I thought they were cute. I put little letters here. I put the little saying here. I put Happy Valentine's Day to and from. Now, you could actually make these something entirely different. You could make them, I wanted to say one thing real quick. The reason they're little on the page is because that page is landscape view, whereas this is a portrait view page. So it looks kind of weird on here. But if you bought this, you would get it in the landscape view. And so it fills up the page. But you could go ahead and you could change the sayings and put in there whatever you'd like. You could take these out if you wanted to. You could put something real cute in there. Say we can just do like love, and you could put in like depending on what you want to do. Let's see, I don't think I want to do photos. Let's just say you want to do this. We could do something really cute and just put this in. Um, you could put it like right here, do something like that, put it down here. You could even just take out this whole thing and put it right here. And that changes everything again. It just changes it all so that it is different. It has a different feeling for a different audience. You could change the background. Oh, actually, it looks like I didn't let it be changed. Oopsie. So yeah, I guess I made that like that. So you wouldn't be able to change the background on these, but you could create your own. You could just use the outline of it. Let's see, what if we do this here? Yeah, it's not gonna let me. Okay, but I like that. I kind of like that too. So you could do something like that. Like I said, you can take out the middle, the inside, and do whatever you'd like with it. I did another set that were sort of a bluish color here um, with different things. So you could go ahead and use these as is for the most part. You could change them. You could take out the little letters and put something different there. Let's see what else we have. We could do like this. What if we did this here? Could make something kind of cute and just put it like on the cards like so. Could do all sorts of things just to make them your own. You could make these for adults and do them, a little raunchy if you wanted to, or with other types of sayings. Um, Lots of things you could do with these, but it's a way to just, if you're running out of time, you could just get them started. I thought there was another page here. I don't know where that one went. Um, I do have with this set here, I do have blank ones too in the kind of the reddish color and in the bluish color. I have blank ones with nothing in there that you can go ahead and use. So we've gone over a lot today. One thing I want to say is that if you don't normally use Canva, if you're new to it, if you purchase my templates, some of these images and things might be for Pro. I used to try to keep up with what was Pro and what was the free Canva version, but they change constantly and then they change back and they do different things. So at this point, I honestly am not sure, which of the things I've shown you are Pro and aren't. As for the images, if you see the little crown here, that means that it's Canva Pro only. So if you were to use one of these that has that, um, you would either be charged for it when you finish, or you would want to choose something different that doesn't have the crown. You can, kind of scroll through and you can see that there are a lot that don't have the crown. Mine actually shows a lot with it because I have Pro, but like this, you could do something with this and make it super cute. So like if you wanted to use this for the back of the card, you could do something like that and take this out, do something like that, and then put like your logo and stuff on there. Um, Lots of things you can do with these. So I'm going to go ahead and put links to purchasing these products um, in the comments below. I do have the relationship knowledge cards for couples. I do have the relationship honesty cards for couples and the printable Valentine cards for kids. Again, you can take these and use them for pretty much anything. If you work with people at all in any way, shape, or form, whether it's as a coach, a counselor, um, anything, people always have the use for knowledge cards and honesty cards. There are always things that they want that they're dealing with. And like I said, it can be for siblings, it can be for family members, it can be for coworkers, for friends, romantic couples. You can change it to be whatever you need it to be for your um, clients and your audience and your niche. These ones here, you can use them for kids for Valentine's Day. You could also do something different, even though it has the colors, the red and the blue. It doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day. You can do something different. You could just like make it, actually, let's see, we could also do, let's do this real quick. We're going to go back to elements and I'm going to do frames or not. Okay. So what if we did this? We could do this right here, put this in here. This isn't the way I would normally do it, but I'm just going to show you real quick an option. So you could do something like that where you put that in there. We're going to position that to the back. Maybe not. Okay, put that like that. So then we have that in there. This isn't great, but I'm just going to show you something really quick. We could go to elements and then we can do, let's say we want to do this for Mother's Day. We can do Mother's Day. We can find pictures and we could do something like this. It won't work. All right, let's go back. Let's see. There we go. So that's not centered. We can move it. That's kind of creepy. I don't really like that, but you can see you can just drop it in there. So you could make this, for Mother's Day. You could make it for someone's birthday if they like that color. Um, let's see what else we can do here. So like that. Why it's off to the side like that. But anyway, so you see what you can do, and you don't have to do the frame like that. You could just do whatever you wanted to put in there. Like take this here and crop it down and just kind of fit it in there however you want to. And that could be for a gift or like you could use these potentially for like a baby shower, something like, excuse me, something like that. Um, you could use them however you wanted to. You could take this part out and just make them look like kind of like a Polaroid and put something like a text here, like you could just say, something like this and put that in there. So it doesn't have to be a to and a from. It could be something like that. We can take that. I want to do, see, we still have bisque. Do bisky. I like that because I think that looks like someone wrote it. So you could do something like that. So many things you could do. So I created these to give you a head start. So if you're having one of those days like I've been having a lot of lately and things just aren't going well, it's really fun to go in and be able to play with these and change them. Um, I price them, reasonably. So you could buy one set, two sets, all of the sets, and then just use them for whatever you'd like. It's almost Valentine's Day, so you don't have a lot of time if you want to do it for Valentine's Day, but um, you could change it, like I said, for Mother's Day. You could do it for someone's birthday. For the cards, you can, use that for pretty much anything. If you coach or counsel or anything like that, or someone who would just use them, who could use them for personal use or something, you can totally buy them and do that as well. Um, if you know some newlyweds, you could go ahead and create your own custom set card deck, for them. Like on the back of the cards, for the card backs, you could go ahead and put like the date they're going to get married or something like that. So many things you could do with these. Um, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Again, sorry about my voice. Yesterday was worse. Today it's still kind of cracking and doing weird things too, but hopefully it's not too bad. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for watching this. And I'm going to put the links to the products below. If you have any questions, please let me know. I do check my comments and I do respond. Okay? Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.